Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
The title of this class is Examine Yourself, and I put just a hashtag in a budget because our people do not budget their money out at all. And trust me, since I've been the treasurer, I know you don't, as a whole. I mean, it is what it is. Well, I don't say I know you individually. I'm like, as a whole, we don't. It's obvious. All right, so we're going to start off easy. It's going to be a lot of one-off scripture because I got to get to the demonstrations. So let's go to 2 Corinthians 13:5. Who reading for me?
Check.
Oh, you got Ross?
2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
So you need to constantly examine yourself. Examine yourself to see why you always down and out because you're like, man, I don't never have no money. I'm always broke. I'm always poor. And then you think of ways to get yourself out of that mindset, but like, oh, it's the Edomites. The Edomites made me this way. You're like, why my credit so bad? They did it. They gave me the credit cards. But you never really blame yourself. You need to examine yourself. And this is, examining yourself takes discipline. All right? So we're going to be disciplined on scriptures. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5. I'm going to have to, and I'm going to apologize early, because I'm going to have to move kind of fast. This is, like I said before, the demonstration.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
The Holy Spirit of what?
Discipline.
So there's a Holy Spirit concerning your discipline. Read on.
Will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding.
So, like I was saying, the Holy Spirit of discipline will let you know that you put yourself in that predicament. You understand? You put yourself in that predicament. Give me Job 36, and we're going to start with verse 10. Let me know what you got it. Because this is certain things, because there's certain things I fight with too. I stop paying attention to my finances, and then when I actually look at it, I be like, what? Why did I even, how much stuff did I buy? I would have to go to 2 or 3 pages just for 1 month when I'm checking my bank account, just to see all the stuff that I bought. And most of us don't know that we buying those one-off $5 here, $6 here. I'm gonna tell you straight. If you get paid 2 weeks, guess what? You do that 10 times, you already spent like $75. I'm gonna give it to you straight. You don't even notice it. All you know is that lunch that you took, that lunch break was good. You know, you had some good food on that lunch break. That's all you know. You ain't worried about it. And then when something like your car break down, you're like, I don't got no money for it. You're like, I need to hold some cash now. I need to talk to one of the brothers to help me out. But you got that in Job?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Job chapter 36, verse 10. He openeth also their ear to discipline.
He opened their ear to what?
To discipline.
Open your ears to being more disciplined in all your doings. Read on.
And commanded that they return from iniquity.
Return from what?
From iniquity.
So you don't have a disciplined mind, there's sin involved. I'm just give it to you straight. Read on.
If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity.
Say that again.
If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity.
To be disciplined, you got to obey. And when you obey, you're going to prosper. I ain't trying to say everybody going to be rich. No, I ain't no prosperity doctrine. Yeah, that's what they call it, prosperity. No. I'm saying is, us as a whole, we do have money as a whole. Some of us broke individually, but as a whole, we have money. So if we remain as a congregation, and we obey and be disciplined, we will prosper as a congregation. So when we have people that are doing bad in the streets, but they want to come in, but guess what? They don't have no clothes. They don't have no food. They don't have the things they need to live. We can provide those things for them, so they can be comfortable when they're trying to get their discipline together. They're trying to repent. You understand? Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 22. And get that the video ready. Because there's a couple of things. I want to get everybody's thoughts wrapped around it. And then we're going to go into a simple way of managing a budget. It takes a little bit of time. Because I had to do it myself. Because I'm going to give you a story about myself. When I first bought my house, my mortgage was higher than I kind of expected. Not that much higher, but it was more than that used to be the only thing that I pay attention to, what my mortgage, what my rent was. It'd be a third of your overall monthly account, what you bring in monthly, right? But my mortgage was higher than that. So I thought. But then I realized, no, that's you that making your mortgage higher than that. It was what you had done in the past is reflecting the reason why you think your mortgage is too high. And I had to examine myself. Because a lot of us will come to the truth and like, oh, you know what? I'm good at not shaving. I'm good at not eating pork. That's fine. Hey, that's the law. All praises. But these other things still can show your spirit. If you're going to see some of those things, you got the script?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
Say that again.
A good man.
A what man?
A good man.
What is good? Everybody can say it. What is good? The laws. Say a lawful man do what?
Leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
So not only do you leave an inheritance for your children, you leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. We got to have that mindset. Got a lot of us like, well, I don't have no children. Or I have one child. I don't know how many children your child is going to have. You think about that? What if your child want 10 children? You leave an inheritance for all of them. I'm just giving it to you straight. All right, hey, play that video.
Number 1, credit cards. Credit cards are the last thing poor people should be touching. It's like digging yourself deeper and deeper into a hole you'll never be able to escape. Credit cards are used to trade temporary finance for someone's time and livelihood. The moment you go into debt, you're no longer working for yourself. Your life is no longer truly yours until that debt is repaid. Poor people max out credit cards like it's a monthly hobby, and usually on non-essential things. It's easy to get caught up in this financial whirlwind that you'll never be able to escape.
You see that? They said one of the number one things that poor people do is they always using credit. They use credit for everything. They're like, you know what? I want a new couch. They will not take the time to save, because it's just a couch. It is what it is, just a couch. You just sit on it, right? It's going to get old because you're going to constantly sit on it. They don't save and just buy the couch. They're like, you know what? Let me get this credit card, because most of the time they give you about $2,500 or $5,000 for a credit card, and they put it on a credit card, right? And then they're trying to pay it off, because now they just increase what we're going to go over later on, their want. Because that couch is a want, because you don't need it. It's a want. So, and it decreases in the value. So I'm going to go over that just a little bit. Because that couch, once you sit on it, the value of it went down. Once you bring it in your house, really, the value of it went down.
So, who's gone to college who's been to college, what do they try to push, after you go through Greek week? What's another thing they try to push on you? Credit cards, right? And they know that most of the time, especially us at 18, 19, 20, we're not financially responsible, right? So another form of credit later, when you get yourself in trouble, let's say you need that couch, or you need a washer and dryer, what they got set up for us? What they got set up for us?
So when you need,
You see the trucks all the time. Yep. So what did you say? Errands, rent-a-center, right? And I know officers going into it, but you will pay for that sofa 3 times, getting it from rent-a-center. And if you miss a payment, what they doing? Right? They coming to get it. So y'all pay attention, because the truth be told, a lot of us were not taught financial responsibility growing up. A lot of us were not taught financial responsibility. This is why we are a poor people. We don't understand things like acquiring real estate, buying a house as opposed to renting a house. The person you're renting from, you're probably paying their mortgage twice a month. Yeah, you're paying their mortgage, 2 mortgages for your 1 month rent. So if you sign a year contract and you pay the rent the whole year, you done paid 2 years of their mortgage. This is what keeps us poor. So y'all pay attention to the class.
all right, play that.
Number 2, glam and beautification. Have you seen the nails and the haircuts on people who can't even afford to fix their cars?
Hey, I would say this. I would say this because sometimes I do it. Sometimes I mess my hair up a little bit, but I would cut my own hair when I want to buy something that I want. I'm like, you know what? I want to buy this. And you know what? Let me cut my hair for about 2 weeks how I get it. Because I want to save the money. Let's just let you know what she's... And some of the sisters do the same thing. Sisters be coming around like, man, this sister look good. See, you look beautified or something, right? Then she be like, what's over Stephen at? I'm just being honest. I'm just using him as an example because he can fix on cars. I don't want y'all to think that I know your business, because I don't know unless you say something. But that's just how people live. And we do that all the time. Since we poor, we try to look rich. Like, let me buy this shiny stuff that if you go out in the rain and you come back in the house, it would change colors. But we'll spend $50, $60 on that stuff.
No, what's crazy and what you're saying is true is sisters will spend $200-$300 on their hair and have used tires on their car.
Right. All right, give me 1 Peter. Ball tires. Give me 1 Peter 3:3. We're gonna hit that right quick. All right, go read that.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair, and of the wearing of gold, or of the putting on of apparel.
So you see what they already written in the book? I already tell you, don't be worried about that stuff like that. Because he already know that we was going to be a poor people. He said, don't let it be your outward appearance. But most of the time, people don't know you wearing something expensive anyway. You don't know, and most of the time you don't care. I'll just give it to you straight. All right, keep playing that video.
This is one of the most annoying things that we see that keeps people from becoming better. You've worked your butt off the entire week and then reward yourself with a new hairstyle that's going to fade away in 2 weeks to impress people who are not doing any better than yourself. Ever noticed how almost all rich people have the same simple haircut? Have you noticed how none of the successful women entrepreneurs have diamonds or add-ons to their nails? It's an issue of prioritization. Fix your life, and then you'll be able to do whatever you want with excess capital. Instead of throwing money out the window, start fixing your windows. Number 3, impulse purchases. No, you don't need 6 phone cases, the funky socks, kitchen appliances you only used once, and the list goes on forever. You are well aware of what the essentials in your life are, the things you actually need. Everything else is just marketed to you. They are brainwashing you into thinking you need said product despite you only wanting it. The moment you learn the difference between need and want, you'll begin to take control of your life. A study done in the UK showed that the average Brit will spend over £150,000 on impulse purchases in his or her lifetime, while the average American spends north of $5,000 per year. That's a lot of money you could use to make your life better. Number 4, food waste.
Food waste. The reason why I let the impulse buying go through and go to food and the wasting of food is because most of us, the Israelites, our impulse buying is food. We spend a bunch of money on food that we shouldn't be eating in the first place. And I ain't trying to say it's unlawful food. I'm saying about how much food it is and what's in the food, like the grease, the butter, the sugar, a whole bunch of sugar going in, and hot sauce. I know I spend a lot of money on hot sauce lately, but I use it for my sauce, my other sauce. But anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just putting myself, because I don't want y'all to think that I'm up here like I don't do some of this stuff. We spend a lot of money. Like, if you want to know how much food we waste, I know a person you can ask. He's sitting in the front row. Boy, I tell you what. Sometimes you come home like, what are we supposed to do with all this food? Like, where are we going to put it? We going to put it on your side of the bed or something? I'm going to show you what the Most High said about this food. Go to SIRACH chapter 37. We're going to start at 29.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats.
Hey, pause right there. Those dainty things, right? What do they usually have them at the store? What part of the store do they keep them at? In the front when you're leaving. You're like, you know what? I do need some $2 worth of bubble gum. You know? And then next thing you know, you buy some bubble gum, then you got a child behind you like, well, can I get this? Then you like, well, I bought some candy. That child can get some candy too. I got it, I'm gonna buy it. Now you got $5 extra. Then there's always the oldest child that comes last and asks for something. So then your oldest child come over and be like, I need these regular headphones they got over here too. And then now, you like, what happened to your other headphones? I told you, I broke it. They always say I told you, which you can never verify they ever told you that. But they say, I told you that I broke it. And you're like, all right, whatever. Those headphones only $5 anyway. So now you spend an extra $15. Before walking out of the store, you was on your way out, $15 richer. And now you got blocked up on some impulse buying on things you do not need. You know that child gonna break them headphones probably by the next time you go to the grocery store.
Now you just said something we always say, a lot of us say, it only costs, right?
Yeah,
Trying to validate it, right? But do this. When you spend, count instead of money, work hours. How many work hours does that cost? And see if it only costs. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's say you make $12 an hour. Well, it only costs $5. Well, after I get taxed by the government, I done actually worked a half an hour for this, little thing that's gonna break here in a couple of days anyway. I guarantee you to start putting a hold on some of your spending habits when you start thinking in that manner.
That's that discipline. If you discipline, you're gonna start thinking about things to come before it even happen. You're gonna think ahead of time. You're gonna have a defensive mindset. And that's what I was taught when I was in the military. I always have a defensive mindset. As soon as somebody starts talking to you, go into, things start coming up, go into what the result going to be. Should I say anything? What the result of what I'm about to say? What the result of this? What the result of that? What's going to happen if I do this? The cause and effect, they call it. You read the rest of that?
SIRACH chapter 37, verse 29. Be not insatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler.
See, in excess of meat, a lot of us buy a lot of red meat. And I ain't saying it's unlawful, but we buy a lot of it, and when you see it in your house, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna eat a lot of it, because it's there. You don't need all of that. First of all, you don't need to eat meat all the time anyway. And the human body was not made to eat every day. So this is an easy question.
Say that again.
This is easy, but the human body, I'm gonna say it again. The human body was not made to eat every day. It was not made to eat every day. And the Most High made sure we won't do it, eat every day. Now, with that being said, how many of you fasted before? Raise your hand, you ever fasted before in your life? With nothing, you didn't taste anything. All right, so you know what that means, right? You should be able to survive on a plate with nothing but salad on it and a little bit of dressing. Because you can go without having food at all. So that means you don't have to eat that much. I'm just giving it to you straight. You don't have to eat that much. You shouldn't be spending. Well, my children are kind of old, so the older they got, the more money I put in my head what they need to eat for the whole month. My son, he's starting to change those numbers. I don't know where his food goes. But when I was younger, I used to put, all right, this little girl, $50. This little girl, $50. Then I started noticing all of them were going to be small, so all of them was $50. And then my son, he went from $50 to $75 as soon as he hit about 10. That's how I hit it that's how I did it in my head. And me, I was 100 and my wife was 100. Now everybody's 100. That's how I did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing you the way I did it because I ain't trying to go in your household and listen to unless you come up to me and ask. So that's how much I be like, that's it. We don't need no more food than that. If you spend more than that, you ain't paying attention. That means that you're not disciplined. Just throw that out there. And that's on the man to do that. You set the budget. I'm not put unless the woman is by herself, that man should set that budget. She should help you set that budget. Or if you just what you call them brothers that so you said that earlier today, them brothers that just used to a woman ruling the house that won't do anything. Those brothers, your wife need to incite you to set that budget. Or whatever she got to do to make you set that budget. Maybe she need to set the budget, but then give it to you and say, do this look right, just for you to validate it. Do something for you to take care of that budget, because that's you that got to defend that household.
I was just going to say that. Some sisters are better financially than brothers. Some sisters are better. There's nothing wrong with them running it. But like he said, make sure, sisters, that your husband is involved in understanding the numbers game, because something can happen. And also, you want him to increase his skills as well. But understand, if that's your real specialty, if she deal with money, she know how to do all that, that's fine. Y'all understand that, right? Because you don't want to trouble your house. You got a brother, hey, you ain't graduated high school, but you may be the best carpenter in America. But you ain't good with numbers. But your wife is. Let your wife take care of that, and y'all will be good. Y'all understand? All right.
Hey, give me Proverbs 23 and verse 20. And this is another thing when it comes to wasting food that a lot of people, well, we're going to let the Bible speak on this.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 20. Be not among winebibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh.
Read on.
For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
Shall come to what?
Shall come to poverty.
So you always hanging around some people that eat too much, they drink too much. They always, no matter what, when they come around, what you got to do? You got to eat. You got to drink. You always, it's something that you have to, I don't know, it's gluttony, it's sin. I'm just giving it to you straight.
Real quick, very good scripture. Can y'all bring that video up we showed earlier? Because sometimes we need a shocker. We need a reality check. I'm going to show y'all what America has planned for you, because that westernized understanding of a diet, which was what they say the natural course in the day was breakfast, hearty breakfast, right? Then at lunchtime, a hearty lunch, and then dinner, you go big too, right? I'm gonna show y'all this real quick.
Simple rule of modern eating: fatty foods in huge portions are bad for you. But you're about to enter a dietary twilight zone, a restaurant that makes the potentially harmful nature of its food a selling point. Its name, get this, the Heart Attack Grill. And they do bring a certain whimsical comedy to serving up giant versions of meals that have been American favorites for generations. But as Ryan Owen explains, beyond the comedy are some very real health concerns.
The Heart Attack Grill. So outside of your Burger Kings and your Chick-fil-A's and your McDonald's and stuff, they got a heart attack grill for you. Cause more of this, bad eating, it'll eventually kill you, right? They know that. Keep playing.
In a country where calories are posted on the menu and the White House has a vegetable garden, sometimes the reality looks more like this. This monument to greasy gluttony is called the Heart Attack Grill. It's a sort of hospital-themed Hooters located in Chandler, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix.
We have full sugar Mexican Coke. Get your arms in over here.
Every customer must wear a hospital gown.
I'm dying.
And they are waited on by scantily clad nurses. Still, it's what's on the menu that gets most of the attention. The single, double, triple, or quadruple bypass burger.
So a burger like that was like $12. Y'all see that? And that's the thing too, with these foods and stuff that it says don't be insatiable. They make it cheap. Now I know sometimes them Happy Meals may do good for the family, right, at the time. But we talking about all the time. That's a diet all the time. Sisters, this is for y'all to take stock, right? Because men, y'all can cook too, but the role in the household is so that you sisters, as far as cooking, you help provide for your family. There's an important part. Sisters think that's very demeaning when they say you gotta cook. You helping out your family live. And not just live because of food, but live and eat the healthy, right things. That's what it says in Proverbs chapter 31. It says that she knows that her substance is good because she can throw down in the kitchen and it's healthy for the family. That's a very important role, all right, with you sisters, with you women, with you daughters of Sarah, all right? Because a part of we gotta, with you sisters as examples, y'all hold a very, very important part to this nation. Y'all are needed amongst our nation. You are created to help a God. How much power is that within yourself? Men, we are the gods, right? Brothers, we the gods, right?
That's right.
And the Lord said it's not good for you to be alone. So he made a help meet unto you, which was the woman. So sisters, y'all, you have a very, very, very important part to play as far as helping us out build this nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of it. So you men, you got to encourage your wives to do what they were created to do. Not just cooking, but being there for us too, right? And vice versa. So keep playing it real quick as far as diets. Go ahead, come on.
Oh, and they do have fries called flatliner fries, fried in lard, and those are unlimited. To wash it all down, how about a butterfat shake? The restaurant has become a bit of a national sensation.
I'm up another few inches. Who
in
needs
no
these
small
old
part
pants?
thanks
I
to
can eat
this
for free
very big
and make
man,
sure-
Blair River, the so-called spokesmodel of the Heart Attack Grill, featured in a series of tongue-in-cheek commercials that have gone viral.
I'm at 570 pounds, 6'8", yeah, so.
We met Blair in January. Back then, he told us one of the perks of the job is eating free. Anyone who is over 350 pounds doesn't have to pay.
I'm big, you know what I mean? And so why not? I don't eat here every day, so why not have fun with it and go with it as long as I can?
Sadly, we now know how long that was. Blair died last week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia.
Hey, y'all may think this is a joke, but this, how he said it sound like a joke, but that thing really happened.
It's a true story right here.
It legit happened. And it's not like, it's a very serious thing because it's happening within Israel, man. So it's up to us to look out for one another and bring this awareness because it's a big problem. You understand? Not for offense, but we got to encourage each other. This thing is serious. I know I done gained some weight through the years, and y'all be looking at my stomach growing and everything, but I'm working on it. So keep playing, come on.
The CDC says every year, 112,000 deaths can be linked to obesity. When your spokesperson drops dead at the age of 29, and he's morbidly obese by anybody's estimation, don't you have a problem?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't?
John Basso owns the Heart Attack Grill. As part of the act, he dresses up like a doctor.
Every single person cared about Blair. Had he have been thinner, he most probably would have survived that pneumonia. And that's a hard fact that I'm not here to deny.
There's an argument to be made that you used this guy during his life, and that now you are very morbidly using his death to continue to promote your restaurant.
I absolutely agree. And in a very sick way, his death has gotten the message out further.
This dude is driving to the bank. What's that Dave Chappelle clip when he said, "I'm rich"? That's how he driving. Cause that's what it is. At the end of the day, yes, that is straight gangster. At the end of the day, you making Esau rich or this nation rich off of your death, and they don't care. So why give the enemy the upper hand in that? All right. Like you said, a part of your fasting and rights and things of that nature. Sometimes you gotta learn how to have some restraint. It says restrain from thine appetites, right? That's not just in spirit, but what you eat in your mouth too. All right, keep going, come on.
So this man's death has not given you pause at all?
Zero pause.
For a man who is making an awful lot of money serving up artery-clogging burgers, Basso has a most unusual justification: that America needs shock therapy to cure its obesity epidemic. He says he tried other messages. He once owned a chain of Jenny Craig weight loss centers and several personal training studios.
I hope that every single person out there comes in and buys a hamburger and a t-shirt from me. But you know what? I am saying loudly and as clearly as any business in America can, this is dangerous.
Oh, he's using it as a marketing tool. I mean, the word that just leaps to mind is hypocrisy.
You won't be surprised to hear real nutritionists take issue with this fake doctor and argue he's laughing all the way to the bank.
I think there are real ethical issues in what he's doing. If he believed that diet had nothing to do with health and was selling those foods, then at least you could think, well, okay, he's misinformed. But
there's another video on YouTube where, because they're basically, like you're saying, they're marketing off of all of this, right? There's another video on YouTube where they will show you like the burgers that you see on TV, the pictures and all that. Have any of y'all ever went to the fast food restaurants and saw how it don't look exactly how it show on the TV screen? It's because they're artists that set up to paint the certain meals to look appealing in certain kind of ways. All of it is fake. It's an illusion for you to buy it and get the money out your pocket and all that kind of stuff. And that's what they do. Wow, for you devil. Keep going, keep going.
But he knows what he's doing. He's deliberately trying to get people to eat more than they need.
Blair, you say, was also your friend in addition to working with you.
I loved working with him.
Do you have a conscience at all?
My conscience is simply this. What would Blair, hovering above me, want me to do right now? And Blair would say this: put back on the stethoscope. Let's keep being the doctor that everyone loves to hate, because that really gets the message out.
To keep delivering that message, a week after Blair's untimely death, the Heart Attack Grill has another spokesmodel.
Here you go.
Ernie Hart, yes, that's his real last name, and yes, he is chowing down on a quadruple bypass.
Even though my cardiologist and my wife tell me not to come.
He having a heart attack trying to talk. What's that, quadruple? That's 4 big quarter-sized burgers. Now listen, none of us in here eat like that at all. I know that for much. But you gotta take stock of this right here. It happened to the nations first, and then y'all gonna learn. All right? Keep going. I ain't gonna say nothing more.
And after surviving a coma and multiple heart surgeries, I still come. I enjoy the burgers.
Ernie was actually the spokesperson before Blair, but had to take a few months off after open heart surgery.
From baby, that's the taste that's worth dying for.
Now Blair is dead, and Ernie's back. The fact that you stuffed him full of burgers for free as often as he wanted, what share of the responsibility do you have for his death?
The equal share with anybody who provided junk food to anybody.
Aren't you glorifying obesity, which obviously kills?
Absolutely. I think it would be immoral to stop at this point.
Explain that to me.
We're past the point of no return at the Heart Attack Grill. We have blood on our hands at this point.
That right there, you can stop it right here. That right there is Satan at his prime for money. You ain't gonna mess with Esau's money. Yeah, I'm affecting him, but I'm getting paid. All right, that's it. I'm sorry.
That's great. Go back to the other video.
Number 8, games and in-app purchases. I'll let the numbers do the talking here. 70% of Fortnite players spend money in the game. The average amount these people spend for digital items in Fortnite alone is $84.67. Candy Crush was making $3 million a day from people buying extra lives.
She said, look at all that money that they're making off your children's idleness. That's basically all it is. And some of you grown men, y'all have idle time too. So y'all play these same games and you purchase all this stuff. And I challenge y'all to do something for me. For some of you grown men to have these games. Count how many games you have and how much it costs. Then like we said earlier, look at your savings account. See who got the most. Because when I say see who got the most, because who you think got the most money from the games? Who got that money? Exactly. So once again, you are buying things that cost more than what you have in your checking or in your savings account, to be honest with you. Because all that stuff gonna come right back around as you was just impulse. It's all emotional and lust. I should say, press play.
The biggest value on this trivial form of entertainment is not the amount people are spending, despite the numbers being colossal, but in the vast amount of time that is wasted.
Y'all hear that, right? What it say in the world, time is what? All right, and what we getting our riches at as Israel? Where our riches at? All right, so when you guys don't know what's the will of God, you forget. It's some of the stuff you're doing right here. Or something else. I don't know what else you could be doing, but we know you have too much idle time. If you really want to learn, you're going to study, you're going to use that idle time to be in the scriptures, like it said in Psalms.
Hey, check this out. So how does that cause friction in the household? So if the husband buys a $60 game, now what's the wife feel like?
Won't even take her to the movies.
I can get my hair done, I can get my nails done, pedicure, something. I mean, because now you're justifying, and just like that, the savings is going out the door for that month, right? Because $60 on the game, right? How many work hours? Then $60 on getting the nails done. How many work hours?
They say you can pay $20 an hour now. How many work hours? You just spent half a day. Half a day right there working. You get $20 an hour just for one game. We just showing you stuff that ain't really worth it. That's what we doing right now. So examine yourself. Hit play on that.
It is super easy to look at your stream numbers and see the hours you put into a single game. If you consider yourself a gamer, it's easy to reach 1,000 hours of gameplay in a year. Some might say those are rookie numbers, but the average wage of the gamer is over $20 per hour. That is easily $20,000 you're leaving on the table without factoring in the costs of purchasing the game, the console or system, and the remaining in-game purchases. Number 9. The latest tech. It's weird to look at people who you know are not doing that well financially spend ridiculous amounts of money buying the latest tech every damn year.
Now, I had to say something on this. I had to check my spirit one time in Walmart because I was at Walmart, right? And I just had to pay taxes, right? So I paid a little taxes. I mean, it wasn't that much, but I saw how much I put in throughout the year, and I still had to give the Edomites some more money. But with this woman that had a whole bunch of groceries in front of me, you know, I don't really want to talk about it. So she unrepentant, but you know, she was on the phone, so she loud and obnoxious. So she's spending money, paid with food stamps or whatever, right? But at this time, I had a little Boost mobile phone that I lose in my bed because it's so small, you know. And she had like the latest iPhone that she was talking. So I'm sitting there like, this person, I'm gonna say person, she just took my money and put it in that phone because I can't afford the phone, but I can't get food stamps. I just had to pay taxes, but she can still afford, at the time I think that phone was like $500 to $600. And then pay all the food with food stamps. Our people got a problem with tech. Keep going, play that again.
You cannot afford the new iPhone. You may have the money to pay for it, but you can't afford it. There is a difference.
Just because you have money to pay for something does not mean you can afford it. That's totally different things.
Y'all understand what that means? All right, give me an example. Somebody give me an example. Let me hear Officer Aaron.
Yeah, I know you know.
Uh-oh.
Dang, what the hell? Hey, what's that supposed to be?
Smell some hatred.
But now, let's say you just got your check, you got $1,000, right?
Right.
And the new iPhone comes out.
Right.
That costs $400.
Right.
That's a nice number. You needed money for rent was $800. You had the $1,000 at that time to buy the phone, but you couldn't afford it because now you're short on rent.
There you go. Perfect. Y'all understand that? All right. Make sure. Sisters, do y'all understand that? Because just because your man got paid, some of y'all don't know what's going on with the bills. You like, hey, we had this much, so I bought this. No, that money ain't really there. It's not really there.
Not your money yet.
Right.
So, like, another example would be like, let's say you have a vehicle.
Right.
Right? You can have a vehicle, but maybe you can't afford the oil change.
Right.
There you go.
You can't afford the maintenance. Break it down. Some people don't understand. Because you got an Audi. He got an Audi, y'all.
Hey, you did that to yourself. Clap your hands for yourself.
I'm gonna give you an example right now. We got a brother. We got a brother at my job, right? He Israel, like a better words. This brother, he goes out and buys himself an M3 BMW. It ain't the new year one though, right? So I think to he like, yeah, man, I got this car, man, I'm good. My dream car, man, this is my dream car. I'm like, okay, cool. Man, what's up with your little Kia that you got? I'm smiling. I'm smiling. Because my little Kia, I can afford the changes on it. Hell, I can do the work myself. So how about I hear him having a conversation with somebody else on how he can cheat out on getting gas for the vehicle. Because the vehicle is a daggone V8. It's a very, very expensive car with special kind of gas that you need to have the car. So he's trying to see how he can get cheap gas. Buy a 55-gallon drum, fill it up in the house, and that's what you can do right there. So meanwhile, we pretty much all make around the same, right? He's trying to find a way around how to afford this vehicle that he has. Mind you now, it's an old vehicle. 5 years down the line, that engine go out. Can you afford a $20,000 vehicle? I mean, $20,000 engine and all that kind of stuff, the maintenance on that. So that's what, like you said, with your Audi. Or Audi, whatever it's called. You may be able to get the car, but can you afford to maintain it? And that's how you know, how you can tell, all right?
All right, play on, man.
In the same fashion, you don't need a large flat-screen TV when your household obviously needs maintenance. It also boils down to the life cycle of a product. People who take care of their belongings enjoy using them for longer periods of time, thus saving themselves money in the form of maintenance costs or the upfront cost of replacing it.
People that take care of their items. I'm gonna tell y'all something. We can't let that go by. We can't let that go by. Because, yeah, that goes to here. Some of y'all know I'll be complaining about that a lot, especially with the mics. I was just sharing with Captain Nosey this morning. I used to do AV work professionally, and the mics that we have that's already falling apart, the time that I spent working for the company, they would rent out, because they would rent these things out daily. They would rent these things out and have them longer than what we have. And we come in here, 2-3 times a week? And they rent this stuff out daily. And they keep it in better condition than what we do. You do this also at home. You do this with your car, letting your car go too long without getting an oil change. Not small things, not rotating your tires and all of that. Then you got to see Soldier Stephen, because now the rotor is bad, or you're having some kind of other problems with it. We don't really take into consideration that maintenance. So when they was talking about having a car or having something but can't afford it, it's gonna always cost you more in the end. So you have to apply these principles, because then what it does is it's more money. It's always more money in the end.
And you have maintenance on yourself. I'm gonna throw that out there too. I'm not going really into the maintenance on yourself, on your own body, but we already touched the food. You gotta maintain your own body too.
Number 11, gambling. There it goes. When people say you gotta spend money to make money, they were not talking about lottery tickets. Poor people spend exponentially more money on scratch tickets, on slot machines, and at casinos than everybody else. They all dream of winning big.
Pause that for a second. See, going into scratch ticket, lottery, do not rely on that for your retirement fund. I'm gonna just throw that out there. It's not gonna work. And if it does work, all praise to the Most High. Maybe you'll help the body out. But I'm saying maybe, money changes people. We're gonna go in that. Money, if money don't change it, yeah, it does. You're gonna do something simple. But actually, give me Lamentation 4:7. Lamentation 4:7. Because some of us think that this money that the other nations have is gonna change, gonna help us, gonna save us. 4:17, my bad, 4:17.
Gotcha. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
That if you overly gamble, overly playing lottery tickets and stuff, you looking for something that's not gonna save you. What we going over now is the simple things that you already have. You take care of it, and you be disciplined, and you will actually prosper. That's what we just read in the book of Job. All right, we're gonna you can drop the video. Give me Proverbs 30, verses 8 and 9.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me.
So make sure that your lifestyle is convenient for you. And not overindulging in everything. You would not see in the, or read in the Bible where you can overindulge in anything. You would not find it. He never gave us liberty to overindulge in things. Read on.
Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal, and take the name of my God in vain.
So either you're going to get really poor, and you're going to be like, God don't love me. When you read in the Bible, it says, He do love you. He chose you. But you're going to say, God don't love me. Look what He did to me. Because you ain't going to take ownership for it because you don't understand about examining yourself. See what you did. And all of this is leading to having a budget. That's what all this is going to be leading to. Many of us do not have no budget. We ain't watching what we spend. Some of us probably still living with our parents that don't even care about what we spend on. So you know that your mama going to hook you up. Or your daddy going to hook you up. Or your mama going to get your daddy to hook you up. Or whatever the case may be. All right, give me needs versus wants. They said that in the video. That's another thing that we got a problem with in Israel. We don't know what we need. We confuse the two together. Need versus wants. Give me SIRACH 29. Let's start at verse 21.
SIRACH chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and an house to cover shame. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
So the key things in life is water, bread, clothing, and a house. Those are what you need. Now, let me get some young fellas. Soldier Elijah, stand up, please. Soldier Elijah. You're young and you live with other brothers. I'm gonna see how you. So they said the key things in life is water. What that goes into? What bill is that?
Water bill.
Water bill, right? All right. How about a house? What bill is that? How do you keep a house? Now I shouldn't say bill. What bills is that?
Light, electric, heat, gas, so forth and so on.
The house part.
Now you got something right, but you missed the main. What's the main thing?
Rent.
Do he help y'all with the rent? What? How did you even miss that? I hope you're helping the brothers with rent while whoever you living with. Good gracious. All right. And how do you get the money for these things?
You gotta work for it.
And how do you get to work?
It's your car.
All right. You see, I'm going over things that you need to survive. Because, like most of us, we have to spend money. We do not have animals. We don't own animals. We don't own land. We don't own the waters. We read about that in Deuteronomy 28:48. All right? And the reason why I'm telling you that is because we're going to go into how you actually maintain your money. What is recommended? I'm going to say what is recommended because you might want to do it a different way. If it works for you, it works. If it don't, you need to examine yourself and do something different. But with that being said, you know what your needs. Now, you stand back up, Elijah. With that being said, in your clothes. In your clothes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So you got to buy clothes. You can't walk around naked. You go to jail.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you got the needs, there's certain bills that you didn't say anything about, right? And there's certain things that you didn't say anything about, right? So let's name some of the wants that actually cause monthly payments.
Let's say car, phone bill.
Wait, stop. You need a car. You can't make money. You need transportation, I should say. It's going to be a car or a transportation, whether you take a bus or whatever. So it's not a car. Give me some different ones.
Cable.
Some wants. All right. That's one.
Internet.
That's two.
Eating out.
That's three. I can't believe he actually got that. I didn't think he was going to get that one. The single brother got eaten out on that. All right. Go ahead. You don't know anything else? You got Netflix?
I don't.
oh, that means you're using somebody else. He looked at one of his brothers and was like, I don't, but, you know what I mean? Yeah, I saw, he looked straight up, hey, I don't.
My brother gonna say, it's mine.
And one of the reasons why I'm going through this for people to recognize that people are like, man, I'm struggling. But then again, they can tell me what was on ESPN. So I already know you paying over $100 for cable and you struggling. Like, you don't need that. You want it, you don't need it. You can get you those little antennas and watch that pixelated stuff go back sometimes. All right, so now, so you have, what other wants you would need to maintain? It should be some other wants. The reason why I'm going over wants, because the wants keep you sane. I'm going to give it to you straight. So those wants, you have to maintain them. That's when it comes to your discipline. You have to recognize that, look, these wants are getting in the way of my needs. Y'all understand that? Because the one thing that, we're going to go into the next one, savings. What is recommended is a 50, 30, and a 20%. 50% of what you bring in a month should go into your needs. 30% of that go into your wants. Somebody wanted to play a love song behind that. So 50% go to your needs, 30% go to your wants. What you think that other 20% goes into? Your savings, whether it's your emergency funds or your savings account, your heritage that you're gonna leave back. Right now, since we don't have we have a little land, but we still gotta pay taxes on it. What do you think most of our heritage is gonna be for our children and our children's children? It's gonna be money. They're gonna need the money, just like you needed the money. If we still here, they're gonna need the money. So you remember that 20% goes into that. And what I mean by that, let's say if you make, let me see now, I don't want to answer all these questions. Yakuba, your head was sticking out, you kind of tall and big. He got that, where wife at? He got that love seat body. See, you comfortable on that brother right there, isn't it? Got that love seat body.
Yes, sir.
Hey, made me lose my
You think about love seats and stuff like that.
Savings, your savings. All right, I got a couple of questions. All right.
Okay.
You make, let's say, I'm being hypothetical. You make $3,000 a month.
Okay.
And your needs is $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
How much room do you have for your wants?
So I make $3,000. My needs is $1,500. So that means I have another $1,500 to spare. So for my wants, I still have to take out savings. So you said that was 20%?
Yes.
I got about 1,000.
There you go. Got about 1,000. Y'all see that, right? I'm just letting y'all know how the math works. 30% is your wants. Now, if you overly spend your wants, where do you think you're gonna take that from? Your savings, so you're never gonna save anything. Because most of us overly spend our wants. You can sit down. Most of us overspend on our wants. We always wanting things. We always think we need stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, you did. My bad. Hey man, math major. And I'm not joking, he's a math major. Appreciate it. But like I'm saying, you have to maintain your discipline. Let's go into actually, give me Romans 13:8. This is what happens when we never get a savings account. We never saving money. We never accumulate anything. This is going to happen. This is what Paul said. You got something?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day on one of the chats. Who has a bank account? Who has a bank account? Before you spend any money out of your bank account, what happens? What happens? If you got a bank account, it happens to all of us. Before you spend a dime out of your bank account, what happens? Huh? You what? No, before you spend any money out of your bank account, what happens? Huh? The what? The bank takes a fee out of your money. If you use your ATM and you don't go to the bank issued ATM, they're gonna take a fee, monthly fees. So they already taking money. So when he's talking about you saving money, you already losing money when you put your money in there. They charge you to hold your money. They said, I think Captain Zakar posted that the U.S. banks made like $34 billion last year off of overdraft fees. $34 billion off overdraft fees. Who you think is paying the most overdraft fees? The poor people. The poor people are making the rich people richer, and we're doing it because we lack discipline. Go ahead.
Get that in Romans?
Romans chapter 13, verse 8. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
So he's saying, owe no man anything. That goes into dealing with your brother, and that goes into always borrowing stuff. And I said this before, and a lot of people got a little confused on it. I said that if somebody say, hey, this costs $200, right? And then the next thing you say that, I'm gonna add that in my next paycheck. You know what that proves? That you're overspending. Because 9 out of 10, you get the same paycheck twice, right? So if you can spend an extra $200 on one paycheck, why you can spend that extra $200 on the other? Or, this is the second thing, you're not dividing your ends right. Because I always tell my wife to equalize it. Put the bills over here, and then put some bills over here. From your first paycheck, your second paycheck. And if there is a month that you get 3, that goes to the family. Meaning the savings account. When I say it goes to the family, I mean the savings account. Yeah, give me SIRACH 33 and 17. I almost got off track. But what I want y'all to understand is we have to stay disciplined. And these a lot, it's so many scriptures I could have used. I had to actually shorten up what I was going to use because I can read what I got and just think of a lot of those scriptures. But get that in SIRACH.
SIRACH chapter 33, verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
And the reason why I get into this, that even if your job, but now I'm going to shift up and get into the money part of making money. Some of us are just sitting on jobs that you know is not going to make enough money for your family. You already put yourself in a situation. It ain't going to make enough. And you're just sitting in that job and not studying to become anything different. You need to find out, you need to go into these scriptures and see what the Bible says about that. We about to go into it now. First of all, I got another question. You just raise your hand. How many of us is making money doing the thing that we wanted to do to make money? Raise your hand. You're doing the thing that you wanted to do and you make money. I want y'all to look around. That means that, guess what? Not only you studying here, you gotta study the Bible, and you need to be studying to do what you always wanted to do. Ain't nobody holding you back. Nobody saying, hey, don't study to do what you want to do. Who told you? Anybody ever tell y'all to do that? To stop doing what you want to do to make money? Anybody? All right. So don't stop. Give me Proverbs 14 and 23. Don't stop. Just because you got to come in on count 101, you know, well, I don't get paid enough, but I can go to count 101. Like, nah, bro, you still need to study and get a job that can take care of your family, or you're gonna be an infidel.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23. In all labor there is profit, But the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
So in all labor there is profit. So when you working, you're gonna make a little profit, right? But some of us is all talk. That's what that last part meant. Read that last part again.
But the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
And penury is poverty. You just talking all the time, but you never just go out and do it. I know y'all experience that, because y'all counsel a lot of brothers, being captains and officers of 50. How many brothers came to you and told you some stuff they were going to accomplish 2 years ago? I know, you've been in 2 schools, so I know you. And then guess what? They're in the same, well, I ain't gonna say the same job, but they still making the same amount that they was making 2 years ago doing something that had nothing to pertain to what they told you they was gonna do. All the time. They're always talking about what they're gonna do, never do it. Give me Proverbs 10:4.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
You see that, right? You dealing with a slack hand. Like I'm saying, examine yourself. Don't blame everybody else. Think about yourself. Think about what you can do. That goes into a lot of things, even in marriage. Everybody like, my marriage is bad. She always talking like this. He always talking like that. Guess what? Until she become a puppet, you need to do what you can do in the marriage. Don't worry about her. Is he going to be like that? Y'all understand that, right? All right, give me Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 10.
Hey, hold on. Don't go too fast past
Well,
that. Read that scripture again.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand.
I just want to read some definitions for slack. Okay. I'm looking at dictionary.com number 3. It says, of business characterized by a lack of work or activity. There's another one that says having or showing laziness or negligence. So when you are dealing with a slack hand, that means what? You know you got things that you need, and you're not going out and you're trying to get it. Okay? I was talking to an officer earlier about a situation. The names will be anonymous, but I said that's not right for this person to ask, knowing they have people to ask to get help. One of the problems why we are negligent in asking for help from certain sources we know we can get it from is because they'll ask, what are you doing? And you don't want to be honest. I'm being slack. That's why I need help. Because you know, even if that person helps you, they probably gonna chastise you. Like in the area that I came up, when you still had grandmothers that was over 60 in the house, okay? They gonna ask you a lot of questions about what you doing with your money. Why are you spending stuff that you can't afford, or are you just not making enough? And if you're just not making enough, you need to make more. And they may tell you, I'm gonna help you out this once. Some of us gotta examine ourselves. If you know you don't have enough, if you know you're not making enough money, like the officers say, then either you gotta get another job, or you gotta get another job and upgrade your skills. We in an environment, a world that technology runs now. So you have to constantly upgrade your skills. Okay? Children are passing you by. You get too old, you can't be labor intensive, and the children, you can't get the jobs that they got because they came up in this technology. You have got to constantly be evolving your skill set. And you can't be waiting and looking for somebody else to take care of you. That's not how the Bible is not structured that way, and that's not how the world is set up.
Get on Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. So when you have admiration to do something, I guess that's why you are telling some people tell me to, but you're telling people that, oh, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna get this cert, I'm gonna get that cert. You know what I'm saying? You're telling people you have that admiration. Let's see what the Bible says about how you should go about that. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Do it with thy might. He said, go at it hard. He didn't say, let your wife annoy you enough that you don't want to, I don't even feel like doing this no more. Oh, now it's your wife's fault. No, it's still your fault. There's going to always be things around that's going to annoy you. That's just part of being a man. That's what I was told when I was growing up. That's part of being a man. People going to bother you. Do what you need to do. I'm going to give it to you straight. Do what you need to do. Read on.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
So you ain't doing the things within your mind. Guess what? You still going to get older. And guess what? You're not immortal. So you're going to leave this earth and never accomplish anything. I'm going to just give it to you straight. Because you got a slack hand. You're never going to accomplish the thing that you want. And that's why I tell brothers, while you're young, it's the best time. Because you got that fresh mind. Go with all thy might. Go at it. Get what you need to get. Just because you got a bad job now, it still don't mean you can't study. Unless you had that job 24 hours. Then you got some real problems. That's called, I don't know what that is. You're going to die soon. You need to get out of there. You need to run. But I'm just saying, go at it hard. I know I see a lot of y'all heads down. Y'all like, dang, yeah, you might be. Don't hide. I'm going to see you later on anyway. Yeah, do it. Go at it hard. Don't. Guess what? What he really saying is you got one life to live, man. Do it all thy might. One life to live. All right, now let's go into alms. And this is another reason why I say that. Because we all need alms to help out other people. We need those alms. Orlando Camp is doing pretty good when it comes to alms. I mean, some of us don't know how to do friends and family. But we still do pretty good when it comes to alms. But what I notice is, mainly on this side do pretty good. It's crazy that on this side they do pretty good with alms, when I think about half of them on this side is married. But we still probably get most of our alms, now I'm going to say most, they get the better percentage. Percentage-wise, they do better. And that's how I know that most of this have to go into the men. Because we at these jobs and we just sit in them and we don't have that admiration to do something better. And if you have that admiration, go do it. Guess what? Do it now. It's high time. Do it now. You get what I'm saying? I always tell people when they tell me stuff that they're going to do, I'm like, all right, just go do that thing. Do it now. If you need help, hey, I'll get you started. I don't care. I don't care what you do. You're like, oh, I'm going to be in carpentry. Hey, I'm a program analyst, but guess what? What that carpentry book at? You need some help? It is what it is. All right, give me, and then going into alms. Because some of you, how can I put it? Some of you actually treat alms almost like you don't need to do it. Give me Tobit 12 and 8.
Tobit chapter 12, verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
Prayer is good with what?
Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
So is prayer good without fasting, alms, and righteousness? Say that again.
Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
Do you guys want your prayers to be good? So prayer is good. Yeah, they are. I ain't making y'all sad. Y'all get sad? Y'all get cut? I got cut last night, so I guess it's y'all turn to get cut. I did the class. I had to cut myself last night. So hey, y'all can lift y'all head up and.
It's because most of y'all are cheap. Plain and simple. Y'all are cheap. Married men with children, I can understand you trying to budget. But you single brothers, y'all got the mentality of being cheap. Plain and simple. And they're saying you can't spend, you may not be able to spend what you have, but you don't have the money to spend. But that's what it comes down to. Naturally, we're cheap. Why is that side of the room got a more percentage of giving? Not just the money, but giving more than the other side. It's because brothers is cheap. So you got to take stock of that, of knowing when and when not to spend when you brothers that are single, that are of age and qualify to have a sister to marry. You understand? Because when you grow in this truth and you want to have a family, because a lot of y'all, none of y'all not going to stay single. I'm going to tell you straight. None of y'all are Paul. None of y'all have the spirit of a eunuch like Christ. You understand? None of you. When I hear that, it comes in one ear, not the other. So eventually, I'm going to expect for you men to, for one, in this life that we live, have your education, at least a GED, because I speak to a lot of you young men, y'all don't have GEDs. So we encourage you brothers to get your GEDs, right? Or your high school diploma, stay in school. You understand? After that, possibly pick up a trade or get into college. I know you was talking about it a little bit earlier, right? It's gonna help you in the long run when you come to become out on your own, or you aspire to want to have a family. Now you have a foundation to lie upon. I don't have a GED, I have a trade. Some brothers up here, they have I have a high school diploma. I mean, I don't have a degree, I have a trade, you understand? So with that, some brothers have degrees and stuff. We have some type of foundation to survive and maintain where we at. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we encourage, not so the grown men in here, because we kind of got it together a little bit. But you young brothers, stay in school. We ain't preaching about not being in school. You got to be a product of society, but in a righteous manner. You understand? So I talked to some of you men. I should be seeing y'all heads going like this. Y'all got to get y'all things together. All right? It's going to help you. It ain't going to benefit me internally. It's going to help you out. That's it. I just got one scripture off of all these words I'm saying. I know I talk about it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse, let me see. Where's that verse? Dang, I was just looking at it. Verse 24. Did y'all read this earlier? Okay, go ahead. Read this.
SIRACH chapter 38, verse 24.
Come on.
The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Wait, read it again.
The wisdom of a learned man.
Because the wisdom that you're learning up in here is supposed to be projected out there in the world. You're supposed to use this knowledge of who you are, that you're the kings of the world, that you're supposed to have those slaves and all that kind of stuff, and Esau is this, that, and the third. You're supposed to use that wisdom in order to be peaceable out there, how to navigate out there. You understand? Because the other side of the truth is what you do out there, not just what we do on the street. You understand? So anyway, it says, the wisdom of a learned man, so you can't walk out here like novices. Novices, they slack. They don't prepare for the future. They don't get themselves together. You understand? You read about Christ had an occupation. Paul, he had an occupation. A lot of them were fishers. So where are we going to take that knowledge and implement it in ourselves? Don't let these brothers fool you. Christ, he had a place. He had a dwelling. You understand? So if Christ had that and I'm Christ-like, you're supposed to have it too. Now, that's the thing about it. Yeah, we got to evolve as a people. Because the first format of us changing was knowing how inspiring and special you are, right? But now we got to evolve as far as what the truth really is, which is the application of this wisdom that we have. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's the truth. That's the secret, getting yourself together. Because you being judged. Your angel is judging you on what you're doing in your life. Every little idle word thing you're doing is being accounted for. You get me? So don't waste the time you have. Keep reading. Come on.
The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
It cometh by opportunity of leisure. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Read on.
And he that had little business shall become wise.
Now it's going into, man. Little business meaning you get so consumed into the world that you can't get your mental state correct. You understand? So that's why we need the Sabbath. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So you got to have the proper balance. It says, and he that have little business shall become wise. Because you have time to what? Study. And then apply that wisdom some more. It's a balance that you got to project. But anyway, like I said before, you all got to get y'all spirits together. first and then go out here, get your education. Some brothers got it. They getting it, all right? It's going to pay off in the long run. That's it. Come on.
Hey, before you go, I don't want to mess you up. I want to make sure I cover this before class over. How many of y'all going to get a tax return this year?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Good. All right. So,
I got change.
It ain't. I don't want to do nothing with it. How many of y'all know what an interest rate is? What interest is? Okay. Okay, good. I say that to say this. I know a lot of time around this time people they purchase cars. All right. I'm just gonna tell you, the interest rate is what you paying on top of whatever they say the price is. So if the car costs $4,000 or $5,000, that may sound good. If they say it's 25% interest, yeah, that's what they do. And a lot of y'all sign it and walk out of there with a smile. Like, hey, I got approved. I got it. So, hey, put the, let's do the math real quick. I just want to show them because they might not get it. Because Esau ain't gonna tell you that. All he gonna tell you is you got approved for the loan.
You gonna say 25 is low.
Right,
it's not
right.
150.
Right.
You said 25% of 5,000?
Yeah.
That's $250 extra.
Wasted.
A month.
Wasted.
Yeah. All the time, you just wasting money.
So, if you going to purchase a car or furniture, I don't know what it ain't.
But that's annual though.
What they doing on furniture?
Yeah, 1,250. But that annual percentage. Annual percentage because of
no, it's just divided by 4.
But that's annual percentage.
Yeah, they're gonna do it again the next year.
Yes, they're gonna always take that out every year. That's APR. It's not just percentage. Yes. So you never get out of it.
Right. So I say that to say this: in the way you get the interest rate down, instead of going to buy a car, build your credit. So Uzziel did an excellent seminar on that. If you don't know what credit is, all right, it's so many different things available to us online, and we got brothers and sisters in the body. But educate yourself on credit, on interest rate before you make those decisions. And we have people in the body that can help you on those things. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So before you make big purchases like that, counsel with somebody. Counsel with somebody. Give me that in SIRACH real quick. Are you finna go ahead? Go ahead. Y'all let you bring it up.
You're fine. I was get the bring that Excel spreadsheet up. And this is going into budget. The captain was about to bring it out. Go to SIRACH 37:16.
SIRACH chapter 37, verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
So, this is kind of like your counseling. Your own personal counselor is your budget plan. And then before you make a big purchase, go counsel with somebody that know what they're doing. Because I tell you straight, sometimes I be a little confused. So when I get a little confused, I call them, hey man, you did this before, right? Hey, should I do this? Because I'm very careful of how I'm gonna take care of my family. Because whatever purchase you make, that's how you take care of your family. That is what it is. But all right, so let's make this bigger. Let's go into some self-examination.
Oh, you got a question?
I didn't see it. What statement? Hey, somebody give him a mic. Where the mic at?
Dang. Step sleep. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, especially like you said, if you're buying a car, a lot of people don't know that the interest rate is negotiable.
Right.
They also target us with the interest rate. There's many lawsuits on that, so you definitely want to get counsel before you buy a vehicle.
Go ahead.
Hey,
And they look for you, sisters. Go ahead.
hey, before you say that, I want y'all to see something. As the topic comes out, that you have people right here in the body that can help you with decisions. Because y'all got to think about it. We work for Esau, so a lot of the things that we do professionally, now you got people in the body that can help you. You got somebody that can help walk you through how to negotiate a rate. You got somebody that can help you to rebuild your credit. So there's no reason for us to stay stagnant in the same positions that we are. That's why the scriptures say in 1 Thessalonians 5 that you got to know them that labor among you. This is for our benefit.
Hey, there was a video on YouTube. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. There was a video on YouTube where I think it was a company or it was a news company. They did a documentary on how many microtransactions we make like electronically, and it came out it wastes like millions and millions of dollars a year from house, like the little small transactions, and y'all gotta watch it. So there's an app that's out, I forgot what it was called, that can help you track these little microtransactions down. For instance, like y'all know how PayPal will charge y'all money if you put in goods and service, right? So like them little things, kind of for a description. Certain apps like the Netflix and all that stuff, it adds up during time, and you end up wondering why you broke, and that's why. Because that little $2-3 every single day or through the week, it adds up.
And when you go to the gas station, for some reason you want to go inside. And for me, since I know I have a problem that I might see, like, I might, it's an energy drink right there, like you were talking about earlier. It's an energy drink right there. I can use that because I sit on the desk most of the day. I'm like, I'm gonna buy this energy drink. Then by the time the energy drinks, they put them in the back. So you gotta walk by all the other stuff that you don't need to buy before you can even pay for the energy drink. So now, I got the energy drink and some munchies, That's the name of the bag of chips, man. I don't know.
Oh,
okay. You know what I'm saying? So, the next thing you know, I will spend and sometimes I don't even pay attention to it till later on, until I get home and check my account. Because, like I said, another thing, make sure you're checking your bank account. Check your bank account as much. Yeah. Most people say work out 3 times a day, right? I mean 3 times a week. When you're working out, because we don't work like that. Some of us don't. Check your bank account 3 times a week. See all the dumb things you did throughout the week, and you would be shocked. You'd be like, man, I have spent $70 on Snicker bars, and you won't even know it. I'm just being honest with you. It happens. I seen brother that made a budget, and he said, hey man, I just noticed that I spent over $100 in 2 weeks for going to lunch. He would not make his own lunch until he found out he was spending over $100 every 2 weeks.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, because I know I call brothers sometimes. I have to rant sometimes about this. How many of y'all go to the store, you buy something, and the cashier doesn't even consider giving you a receipt? Does that happen to anybody else? I mean, I can watch Edom right in front of me and buy a stick of gum, and they'll give him a receipt. I'll come and I'm buying stuff, and first off, they'll be like, do you need a bag? I'm like, I'm buying items. Why would I not need a bag? Seriously. And then you always gotta ask for a receipt. Subconsciously, they do not view us as a people that take care of our financial business. They don't. Did that to you? They don't even look at us as a people that care about our financial business. This is how far we've fallen. The scriptures say we are yet this day in our captivity, and we are what? Subject to payments. We make these payments and we don't even keep a receipt of the payments that we make. And this is why what the officer is going over is so heavy, because then you make all these other little transactions and they add up to a large amount. But at the time, you're like, oh, that's just a little bit, that's just a little bit, that's just a little bit. Just like, how many of y'all have a can or something at home that you save money? Like if you left out the house with $20 and you came back with, I don't know, $3.50, throw it in the can. Start over the next day fresh. Because at the end of the month, instead of calling Cap, I need some money, you already done established a savings account in your house. There's ways that you protect yourself.
Oh yeah, and I got another thing that I use. Because I'm the type of guy, I can't have the money in my account, my checking account. Because it been times that my checking account was just growing, because I wasn't doing that much. The truth was helping me out, because I had days that I couldn't buy anything. And I started seeing the increase. So I'm sitting there like, whoa. I got used to not buying anything. So I'm sitting there like, hey, look at my account. Let me go buy this now for no reason whatsoever. So I'm like, you know what? I need to stop that. And what I'm saying, I'm giving you examples within myself to show you that you have to examine yourself and be disciplined. And the reason why I'm going over this that, and I'm giving you ideas as an older, some of y'all I'm older than. The one thing I have noticed that I can survive off each one of my paychecks, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. One paycheck, I'm good. And next paycheck, I'm good. So if I go, what I'm saying is if I went zero after every paycheck, I still would be good. Did you get what I'm saying? Zero, zero, dot. So whatever I had left, I just put it away. When I get my paycheck, once my next paycheck hit, that money is either in savings or I just put it away. I don't use it. Because I know I can survive for 2 more weeks with the money I just got paid. Did you get what I'm saying? So if I got paid, right, and first you got to pay yourself. That's what that 20%. Y'all remember 50, 30, then what else? 50, 30, 20, right? So you already did all that. But I still had $30, $40. I'm just using low numbers because hopefully I would have more than that. Because my children looking like, how do we supposed to survive? But look, let's say I had $50 left over. Guess what? I don't need those $50. I just proved that. Put it away. That's an extra $50 you put it away. Then your next paycheck comes, start fresh. Like all of a sudden, you're starting out fresh again. You zeroed out. And then guess what? That next paycheck comes, you might be left over with $100. You don't have to keep it in your account. Put it away. Start fresh over again. The next thing you know, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna start seeing some numbers grow. And I ain't trying to say once you see those numbers grow, you go do something crazy. I'm just saying that you will see that you don't. Pretty much, I took living paycheck to paycheck literally. I was forcing myself to live paycheck to paycheck. And by forcing myself to live paycheck to paycheck, I was actually saving money because I would not allow that money to remain in my checking account. Y'all get that? That's another method that you can use to start establishing a emergency fund. Actually, it's one scripture that we didn't hit. Money, giving the money is a defense. One in Ecclesiastes 9 and one of them. One from the Welcome Home package.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
You see that? Money is a defense. Like I would tell you straight, I wish we didn't need it. You need money, but guess what? We need money, and money is a defense. When things go wrong, you need that money there to help you out. You got give him the mic. You got a question.
What I actually, Shalom, leadership. What I actually help out with saving too is like instead of buying fast food at a time, you could buy a pack of chicken from Walmart that's like $12 and it'll last you a week rather than spending money on fast food. It's probably about the same amount. And you know that adds up. So
right. Oh, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. For those that eat out, I don't want to talk about eating out that much because I don't want Solomon Palace Cafe to be ready to fight me. They got a big brother over there. Look, just looking at the finances in the school, and all praises because we use it. Some of y'all spend more on Solomon Palace Cafe than you give alms. I'm just giving it to you straight. I know y'all didn't notice that. I know y'all didn't notice that I would actually look at. I can see that with my own eyes. I'm not guessing. I see it. Some of y'all would spend more in a month in Solomon Palace Cafe than you would spend in alms. So that just let me know that we making emotional pay. Everything that tied to what we spend is emotional. We're not disciplining it. And discipline is not an emotional thing. I'm gonna just throw that out there. Discipline is not emotional. That's just something that you know that you have to do. The world call it, I don't want to confuse nobody, but the world call it religiously. They say you do this religiously, meaning a religion is something you do religiously. It's a set of rules that you do religiously. So then they start calling it religion. Discipline is a religion, which is this Bible that you can read in Maccabees.
It's a habit.
It's a habit.
Right.
That's just what you're going to do. I'm going to do this because I know I'm supposed to.
The scriptures pertaining to like money being a defense. Real quick, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11. We're going to read verse 1 and verse 2. Just real quick. I'm sorry, officer.
No, I was just reviewing, making sure they were taking notes.
I just want to share this real quick. It's going into investing. Solomon was wise. He knew how to do things. Even though he was loaded with money, you know, the nations brought tribute unto him. He knew how to invest it. You understand what I'm saying? Or save it up. We used to do this when we was young. Read this real quick. Go on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1.
Right.
Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days.
Verse 2 is going to explain verse 1. Read on.
Give a portion to 7.
Give a portion, your substance, to 7. Money, whatever the case may be. Divide it unto 7. Read on.
And also to 8.
Because look, if you have $1 million and you divide it 2 ways, that's $500,000 each, right? If you divide that 4 ways, that's $250,000. Divide that up a couple of ways, right? And that's a lot of money. And you divide it into different type of enterprises, right? Or just divide it up, store it up. Read on. This is the purpose of that. Read.
For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
You don't know what can happen. So while you focus on this big lump sum, and that's what mindless Negroes do with a lot of money. Like for instance, here we go. The music industry, right? They give these so-called artists $2 million signing contract, right? And this is what we're going to give you, like a loan, basically what it is. But they think that that's their money. So they start buying all kind of stuff with the money, not knowing that they got to pay for tours and all this kind of stuff like that. And by the end of their tour for the year or whatever, they're broke. We ought not to be like that, all right? So whatever finances that you do have, you used to do it when you was young. Put a little bit in your shoe, all right? I know when my son was born, I got help from, family members, and some of you all, thank you all, praise to the Most High. And we got some alms, like funds and stuff like that, right? I put it in one of them like little bottles, them little plastic bottles, and I saved it. Now by the time my son get older, he gonna have a little money on him. I ain't touched it, even though I really want to. But he, he's young. He ain't even 5 years old, and he got some money. That's his. You know what I'm trying to say? So just, being wise with your funds, a little example. But the Bible's going into using finances.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. I.U.I.C. has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. I.U.I.C, we deliver the truth.